Welcome to Science Store online classes.
Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.
So we were solving problems related to loss of motion. Let's move to the next problem. Question number 6. 3 blocks A, B and C, each of mass 2 kg are hanging over a fixed pulley as shown in the figure. How does the figure represent, or what is the figure for this corresponding question? So there is one pulley and a string is passing through the pulley. So mass A is attached to one end, B is attached to another end and C is attached to mass B through the another string. So fixed pulley as shown. The tension in the string connecting B and C. What you have to find out? You should find out the string tension connecting the mass B and C. So what is the mass of each blocks? So this is 2 kg, this is also 2 kg and this is also 2 kg. Obviously by looking at the picture itself you can say that the mass at this end is greater than mass at this end of the string. So obviously this will be way more than the mass of block A. So acceleration here will be upward and acceleration here will be downward. So one string is connecting A and B. So tension which is connecting A and B will be same at any point of that string. So tension here if I take it as T1, so this is also T1. But B and C are connected through different string. So tension acting on the string is T2. Am I right? Tension acting on the string is T2. Now they are asking what is T2? What is T2? We have a direct formula. Either you can go according to your free body diagram, which is a tedious process and that will take a lot of time, but you will get an accurate answer. Otherwise, you have an easy method to remember the formulas related to that. So yeah, you can directly write the formula, substitute the values and get the answer. So what is the tension here acting? T2. What is T2 is equal to? So remember students, so T2 is the tension acting on this string. So that tension will exist only if this string is stretched. Am I right? So now C is stretching the string. Am I right? If C is not present, then this string wouldn't stretch. If C mass doesn't present, then this string will be just as it is, just a string connected to B, it won't stretch. But now the string is connected to C, so it will be stretched, correct? So now this wire will be stretched if I apply the force. If I don't apply the force, it wouldn't stretch. If it doesn't stretch, then there is no tension acting on the string. So similarly, here if mass doesn't exist, then there is no force acting downward on this string. So no tension acting on the string. So if this mass is 0, tension is 0. Similarly, if this mass is 0, imagine this mass won't be there, then this whole thing will fall down, correct? There won't be tension at any of the wire. So you can say that if mass of C is 0, tension is 0. If mass of A is 0, tension is 0. So totally how many gravitational forces acting on this, or how many forces acting on the string? One is gravitational force due to mass C, another one is due to mass A. So two gravitational forces acting on this particular string. Okay. If there is no gravity at all, if you go to zero gravity and place this whole system, then the string wouldn't stretch because Gravity is the one which acts force on this. Otherwise, there is no force. So, if gravity is 0, tension would be 0. So, divided by total mass. What is total mass? Mass of A plus mass of B plus mass of C. So, remember, if 2 is 0, both the forces are 0, tension will become 0 because 0 multiplied by anything is 0. So, 0 divided by anything is 0. Okay. If mass of this, if this doesn't exist, then MC would go 0. So, again same thing. If mass A doesn't exist, then tension will become 0. If gravity doesn't exist, tension will become 0. What if B doesn't exist? Then this string will be connected to this string. Still tension will exist. Same tension will exist. So, if B is 0, tension T2 is not equal to 0. This is the formula. So, now substitute here 2 into mass of C is nothing but 2 and mass of A is nothing but 2. G value is 10. We will take it as 10. Divided by total mass is 2 plus 2 plus 2, that is 6. 2 ones are 2 3s are. Am I right? So, this is 3 ones are 3 3s are. So, 1. So, 3 3, yeah. It goes, correct? Yes. Now, 4 into 3.33. So, almost you should get 13.3. Or if you take 9.8 is also fine. 9.8 is also fine. 13.33 Newton. You will get it if you do the calculation. So option C is the right answer. 13.33. So in case I can't remember the formula, still I have to go with the free body diagram. Is there any easy method that I can go with? Yes, you can go with the easy method. Yeah, free body diagram of C is nothing but upward force tension T2, downward force is mass of C into gravity. Am I right? So for now mass of C, let me take it as M because I am not considering any other masses here. So let me take it as M. Okay. So what is acceleration? Acceleration is downward. So can I say that net force is equal to M into A. So net force acting on mass C is nothing but, since acceleration is downward, then obviously weight of block C should be greater than tension T2. So you can say that mg minus tension is the net force which is responsible for this acceleration, which can be written as Em into A. So tension is equal to mg minus Em into A. So you can say that M of G minus A. So this is nothing but your tension. Now if I get to know what is acceleration, I can tell what is tension. So now what is the formula for acceleration? Acceleration is net force divided by total mass. So okay, acceleration is same for all the masses. What is the net force acting here? So one is the total force or total weight of B and C. Another one is the weight of A. Correct? So which is greater here? Obviously these two weights together are greater. Correct? These two are acting towards right side. This is going upward, right? The acceleration here is downward. So obviously this weight is greater than this weight. So you can say that the net force is nothing but weight of B and C. Weight of B and C. What is that weight of B and C? So since all the weights are same, let me take all are M because all are 2 kg, 2 kg. So let me take all M. So mg plus mg, which is nothing but 2 mg. Weight of C is mg, weight of B is mg. So 2 mg. mg plus mg2 mg minus weight of A is mg. So this is net force, correct? Weight of B and C, weight of A divided by total mass. What is that total mass? 3 into m. So now this is mg by 3m. So acceleration is g divided by 3. Acceleration. Now can you substitute that? M into g minus g by 3. So m into 3g minus g means 2g divided by 3, which is nothing but, so here it is 2, correct? So yes, this is 2, mass is 2 kg, so 4g divided by 3. Substitute the value, 4 into 9.8 divided by 3, which is equal to 13.3 Newton. This is the another way. This is just 2 steps. Formula, substitution, you will get the answer. This is, yeah, couple of steps, but yeah, more accurate. This is also accurate if you could remember the formula, or if you could, if you can remember the logic. This is also easy method. Yeah, both are easy. You can go for the less time consuming one, where the formula will be already ready made and directly get into the answer. Hello students, let's move to the next problem. Question number 7. A string of negligible mass is going over a clamped pulley of mass m. So remember, here pulley is having mass. A string of negligible mass, mass of a string is negligible, which is going over a clamped pulley of mass m. So that means you have a string like this, you have a pulley like this, okay, and a string is passing over this pulley. A string is passing over this pulley. This string is massless, but this pulley is having mass. So this string is connected over here. The other end of the string is connected to a block of mass capital M. Mass of the pulley is small letter m and mass of the block is capital M. Now, the tension in the, M support by a block of mass M as shown in the figure. The force on the pulley by the clamp is given by, you have to calculate force acting on the pulley. So far we have calculated the tension acting on the string and acceleration. We have never we never get to deal with the concepts like forces acting on this pulley. So if you are concentrating on the pulley, if you are only focusing on the pulley, if you draw the free body diagram of pulley, how does it look like? So this is the pulley having mass m. So this is the rope passing through the pulley. So because of the mass, the rope will experience tension. The tension acting here is downward and tension acting here is upward. Am I right? Rope is tied. So this rope is tied here. So one end is passing through the pulley. So since it is tied, here also you will have the tension, and from here it is connected to the pulley and other end is also connected to the block of mass m. This end is also having tension. So tension here is downward, tension here is upward, because this is the free body diagram of pulley. Now, if we write only the force acting on this pulley, because we have to calculate the total force acting on the pulley, correct? So what is the force acting on the pulley? The forces acting is, one is tension along this direction, another one is, if the pulley is here, another one is tension plus weight of this pulley, correct? Am I right? Weight is nothing but m into g, weight of the pulley which is acting downward. These are the total forces acting on the pulley. I repeat. Now, this is the free body diagram of the pulley. The free body diagram shows that one is tension along this part of the string and another one is tension along the other part, second part of the string. If you have to write the free body diagram or the forces acting on the pulley, one is tension towards left, another one is tension of the rope plus weight of this pulley, because pulley has a weight since it is having mass. These are the forces. See, tension is also vector, weight is also vector, because tension E and weight are nothing but force. So these two are vectors now. This is in the form of parallelogram method of vector addition. So as the question is asked, total or net force acting on the pulley, you can add these two vectors. So the resultant force acting on the pulley, the no total force acting on the pulley is nothing but this force plus this force, that is T plus mg. Am I right? This plus this together. So all algebraic sum of these three forces is nothing but total force acting on the pulley, no other forces acting on the pulley. So now how to find the magnitude of that? What is the magnitude of two vectors? That is a square plus b square plus 2ab cos theta, correct? From the parallelogram method of vector addition. Here theta is 90 degrees, so this will become theta is 90 degree, cos theta is 0, so this term will become 0. What is the magnitude of total force acting on the vector? Here a is nothing but t, so t square, b is nothing but t plus mg, so t plus m into g whole square, and that's all. Now if you know what is t, then you can also calculate or write it in a proper format, because your option doesn't have a t term. If you look at option A, that is root t into capital mg, b is also root 2 into small mg, c is square root of m plus m square into g, d is g into square root of m plus m square plus m square. So nowhere you have t in the answers, so you have to convert t. How to convert t? For that, draw the free body diagram of M. So free body diagram of that block M. What are the forces acting on the block? One is weight of itself, that is m into g, that is capital M, okay, capital M into g. Here it is small m, this is capital M, okay, and upward force tension. So here I have showed tension is downward, here I am showing tension is upward. See, it depends on which body is under consideration. Here pulley is under consideration, so tension is always away from the body, so away from pulley. Here block M is consideration, so tension is away from block M. So for block M, tension is acting upward in the rope, for pulley tension is acting downward in the rope, but magnitude of tension for both is same. So what about the acceleration? Is the whole body accelerating? It is not accelerating, it is at rest, so that means acceleration is 0. So net force is 0, correct, because net force is equal to m into a is 0 means net force is 0. What is the net force acting on this block? That is T minus m into g. Why T minus m into g? M into g is downward, m is capital here, is equal to 0. So you can say that T is equal to m into g. Now this is the tension acting on this part of the rope. So for pulley as well as for the block it is same, but direction is different depending upon which body you are talking. Can I apply in this formula now? So R is equal to square root of capital Mg whole square plus T plus, that is capital M into G plus small letter m into g whole square. Correct? Do we have that option? So yes. Now let's try to simplify this. Square root of m into g whole square plus this, expand this, m into g whole square plus m into g whole square plus 2 into m into g square. Okay. Then you can write this as. So now what do we do? G square is common, take it outside inside the square root. So g square. What is remaining here? Remaining is capital M square. What is remaining here? Remaining is capital M square. And here small letter m square plus here 2 into capital M into small letter m. So g square, you can take it out of the square root symbol. So g, when it comes out, it becomes g, and see m square plus 2mm. If you look at this part, you can write them as capital M plus small m whole square, because m square plus m square, this is in the form of a plus b whole square. So you can write m square plus these parts, you can write it as m plus small m whole square. So do we have this option? Option D, correct. Option D is the right answer. Hello students, let's move to the next problem, which was appeared in IIT JEE screening test 2004. A small block slides without friction down in an inclined plane starting from rest. You have to imagine an inclined surface. This is the inclined surface. A block is sliding down from the top. Okay. Without friction, it is coming down. And from the rest means initial velocity 0. It slides down in an inclined plane without friction from the rest. Let Sn be the distance travelled from t is equal to, so Sn is the distance travelled from time t is equal to n minus 1 to t is equal to n. In this time interval, the block travels this distance. So you should find out what? You should find out Sn divided by Sn plus 1. So this kind of problem you must be solved in a motion in a straight line chapter. So this is the distance covered for nth time. Distance covered for nth time. So what is the formula for distance covered in nth time? So distance covered in nth time is equal to u plus half into a into 2n minus 1. U plus half into ut plus half into a into 2n minus 1. This is the distance covered, this is u plus half into a into 2n minus 1. Now, what is the distance travelled in nth time? Sn is equal to, here u is 0, so half into a into 2n minus 1. What is distance travelled in n minus 1th time? Sn minus, we want n plus, correct? Sn plus. So Sn plus is equal to, u is 0, so half into a into 2 into, instead of n we should write n plus 1, because it is n plus 1th time minus 1. I hope you are filling. Yes, this is the distance covered in nth time. This is distance covered in nth time for the given condition, because initial velocity is rest, since the object is coming from rest. This is n plus 1th time. So what do you get? Half into a into 2n, correct? Because here plus 2n plus 1. When you remove the bracket, 2n plus 2 minus 1. What do you get? 2n plus 1. This is Sn plus 1. We want the ratio, correct? Ratio is Sn by Sn plus 1, which is half into a 2n minus 1. This is half into a 2n plus 1. Half a gets cancelled. 2n minus 1 divided by 2n plus 1. Option C is the right answer because option D is the reciprocal of it. Option C is the right answer. So this was appeared in 2004 JEE screening test, IIT JEE screening test. So they are asking a block is sliding down in an inclined surface from the rest, means U is 0. So Sn is the distance travelled by the object block within this interval. In the last second, this block travels Sn distance, correct? So what is the ratio then? N plus 1, what is the ratio between distance travelled by the same block in nth second and n plus 1 second? So this formula you must be familiar with, just substitution. So yeah, there is nothing to do with the loss of motion here. So this is one of the problem from kinematics. Yeah.
Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.